Most people think you need a builder's license or hundreds of thousands of dollars to build yourself a home. That's not true. In many states, you can actually build your own home without any licensing and with as little as 5 to 7% down, 5% for the actual down payment, 2% for the closing costs, which is called a construction-to-perm primary residence loan. In this video, I'm going to walk through the entire process step by step for the owner-builder process and loan, everything from finding the land to making sure it pencils to designing your build, managing the construction, and then wrapping up the loan and moving in for a 30-year mortgage. Make sure you stay till the end. I'll walk through the entire process and the conversion period once you're wrapped up. Step number 1 is putting the lot under contract. It's not about just finding the land, it's about getting the best terms. Timing is absolutely everything. When people say, oh, standard closing is 30 days, you have to do that timing, that's incorrect. 80% of what we do is off market, and what we teach our students is how to specialize in getting the right terms so you have enough time to get your plans drawn up, your permits submitted, and getting them approved, plus locking in the financing. That could range anywhere from a 60-day period up to a 90-day period. Your advantage is you have it off market, you're directly talking to that property owner, and you guys can agree to whatever you'd like to agree to. We've done this hundreds of times for ourselves and our students. The timing is everything when it comes to locking in that deal. Let's jump to step number 2. Step number 2 is designing the house and creating the plans. Once you've got that lot under contract, you've secured it, you know the size and the setbacks and everything that you need, you then meet with this architect, you get to choose the plan, a 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,000 square foot home, or whatever you'd like. You can build a 4,000 square foot home. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna design, you're gonna give vision, Pinterest, Redfin, Zillow. I look at all of those different platforms. I see what's building in the area, what can inspire me. I give it to my architect, and he is the vision creator, he or she. They're gonna create that beautiful plan for you, and once you have that plan set finalized, the floor plan and the elevations, they will build a full construction set of drawings, and that's gonna be your plans that you stick to for your financing, for your budgeting, and for everything else when it comes to step number 2. Step number 3 is bid the project and build out your entire budget. Once you have your plan set fully complete, you can actually build this entire bank budget out. Everything from foundation, excavation, framing, the framing materials. You'll have an entire checklist budget that you're gonna bid out every single item. That's gonna allow you to fully refine the actual cost of construction and make sure you know what you're gonna be into this home with the land plus the construction, and then you'll have that value. As always, I wanna have at least that 20% equity. So if my construction budget, let's say my lot is 100,000, I've bid out my entire project, permitting, architecture, and then all the material and labors, just like you see here, it comes out, let's say to 400,000. That home should be worth at least $550,000 to $600,000. And I recommend 3 bids per trade, as this is gonna help you really compile that budget and understand you're getting the best bang for your buck and you're getting the best pricing when it comes to the budget. And then as always, most people get nervous on this next step, which is going to be the financing. If you're serious about being your own owner builder and need help structuring the deal, everything from finding land to locking in financing to getting all the subcontractors lined up to build your home and create that equity, hit that link below, book a call with my team, and let's get back to the video. Step number 4 is the financing, the construction-to-perm loan. Typically, this is a loan that's carried at local credit unions. What they're doing is they're funding 95% of your total cost. So because you have your construction budget set up and you have your land costs, we'll just make up a number of $500,000 for the whole thing. They will give you a loan for 95% of that number, which in this case would be $475,000. So they would only require you bring 5% down of $500,000. That's going to be $25,000. Once you have that set up, you have your budget, you have your plan set. The bank is going to take that plan set and go get appraisals of homes that are fully complete with your same specs. What I mean by that is square footage, bedroom count, bathroom count, 2-car garage, 1-car garage, 3-car garage. If you maybe you're in a more rural area, if you have a 2-acre parcel, they're gonna take all of that in mind and pretend like this plan set's already done. The appraiser's gonna go and find typically 3 to 5 other comparable homes that are gonna look or be like the home you're gonna build. They're gonna give you a value, make sure that value is enough. based on the cost. Again, that 20%, you want to have that equity. They're going to take that equity as your down payment. So that's why you only have to bring 5% down, because you have enough equity, let's say that 100K of equity. And so they're confident in moving forward with this deal. So now that you have the financing locked in, you have your budget built out, your plans are submitted for permitting, they're getting near the completion or the permit approval process. Typically, a permit will take anywhere from a day, like St. John, Indiana, very uncommon, but typically around 2 to 8 weeks to get your permits approved. That's why you need that timing from the contract standpoint. Once your permits are approved, they're going to fund the loan and you're ready to actually start building. As you're building, they're going to release the money as you're completing the project. So you've completed excavation and foundation. They'll release that portion to you. You completed the next phase. They're going to release that portion to you. Step number 5 is the actual construction process. So before you bring any excavators on site or anything, if the permits are approved, what you want to do is you want to start with the surveyor. You want to call them up, say, hey, I've got my approved plans ready. Can you stake it out for the dig out? What they're going to do is they're going to offset the actual foundation 2 feet, 1 to 2 feet, and they're going to give you the box area for the excavator to know roughly where the house is going to be. The excavator is going to come on site. He's going to dig out the initial area of where the foundation is going to be poured. And once the excavator completes the dig out, surveyor, hey, can you come back out and do hub and tack survey? What that means is they're literally going to pinpoint every single corner of that foundation. We're talking literally to the 1/4 inch. Why? Because now the foundation contractor knows exactly where every wall is going to go, and the foundation contractor can now come on site, start forming up the walls. In some areas, they're going to, set the block, and so they'll set it, or they'll put these forms up exactly where the surveyor showed, and then they'll pass the inspections for foundation, and they'll come in and they'll pour the concrete. Once the foundation is complete, you're going to get all of your post and beam, which is your flooring. So there's going to be posts and beams going in, and typically the plumber's going to come in and they're going to do the post and beam plumbing, which is what is underneath the actual crawl space. Why they do this first before framing up the walls is because the post and beam is exposed. We don't have the floor set. It's much easier to lay all the plumbing in the ground than have to crawl underneath the crawl space. That's much more uncomfortable. This is post and beam construction style. There's another style of construction which is called slab on grade. So foundation is poured, then the plumber comes in and puts all their piping, and they pour a slab concrete instead of having post and beam or wood here on the first floor. So once post and beam is done, then you can call the framers out, call the lumber supplier to deliver the lumber, and they're going to actually start framing up the first floor, second floor, third floor, or just one floor, depending on what you choose for your plan set. But they're going to start framing up the entire home. Once they frame it up, they're going to have the trusses, which is where the roof is, and then they're going to actually start roofing it and enclosing the entire home. Once the framing is complete, the roof is on, the roofers come and actually put shingles on, roof it. You can then install the windows and start working on the interior, which is called the MEPs. Mechanical, which is heating and cooling HVAC system, electrical, and plumbing, MEP. So the MEPs are, again, we've got the plumbing already installed, we've got the HVAC, this is here for the laundry, and then we've got all of the electrical installed as well, outlets, everything else for rough-ins. Once we install all of this and we pass inspections, we can then insulate, and then we do a framing inspection, which in other words is essentially a structural inspection. They're going to check that everything is done correctly structurally. They're going to check all the MEPs. They're going to check everything and say, great, you can now actually close the walls. And so everything has to be good and passed by city and county code before you put drywall. For this specific $1.5 million home that we're building, we are actually in process of passing the framing inspection. So once they, I think there was a few corrections that the builder has to make. Once he passes this inspection, we're going to start to insulate all of the interior. As the MEPs begin their process inside, typically we start with the biggest MEP and go down to the smallest. What I mean is mechanical is the biggest piping. So usually you start with the mechanical, then you run to the next one, which is plumbing, a slightly smaller piping, and lastly, electrical. While the mechanical or the HVAC contractor begins the interior, you want to get your siding and your windows installed. So typically I have my siding contractor come out here, install the windows and wrap the entire home, and then they can actually begin the siding process. So as the MEPs are doing the interior, Simultaneously, I'm already having my siders install all the windows, wrap everything, and now I've ordered all of the siding material. They're coming out here and they're gonna start siding the home. Once you've passed your framing inspection, you can start the drywall and you can do the exterior as well. Let's jump to the other lot where we're at that stage. Once your windows are installed, you've got all the wrap. Now you have the siding material delivered to the site, and you can also do stone. So specifically for this one, we did sunset stone with Mutual Materials. Shout out to Miranda, absolutely phenomenal. As you can see, it looks beautiful. And then we did a James Hardy stucco siding. And then we also did some lap siding up above. You can choose different siding styles literally by looking at Redfin and Zillow, seeing what sold listings or seeing what listings have sold and say, hey, I like this siding. Can I order this material? Typically, your supplier is gonna say, oh, that material's fine, it's the same price. Or they're gonna say, oh, this one's actually double the price or triple. In that case, for me building spec homes, I go, I'm okay. I'm gonna go with the ones that are the same price. You can also install the garage doors as well. So once the siding is done, you can install garage doors and you can get gutters installed as well and downspouts. Because this is a nicer $1.5 million home, I did the round downspouts. It's a little bit more bougie. Let's jump inside. Now that we've insulated the home, we can actually drywall it. So the drywaller is gonna come in, they're gonna install the drywall, they're gonna mud it, and then they're gonna texture it. Once drywall is complete, you can then do all the finishes. Everything from cabinets, as you can see, we've installed the base cabinets. You can then do the flooring, which connects right to the cabinets. And then you can do the finished carpentry, everything from window trims, door install, and anything else, closets, anything that has finished carpentry. Once all of that's complete, you can then go next to tile, countertops, and painting the interior of their home. Just like the exterior stone, which looks absolutely phenomenal, we decided to stone the entire interior with sunset stone. Mutual Materials, again, shout out to them. I love their stuff. We did it at Fircrest. We do it at several projects because it costs a little bit more, but it changes the game for the entire home. Just looks beautiful. And for you guys watching this video, if you're already building a house, we'll get you a 10% discount on all the stone. And also the prep work started for all of the tile. We've got dual shower heads as well. Once we wrap up all of the tile, we've got all the finished carpentry done. We paint the entire home, countertops are in. We're just left with the MEP trim, the trim work, meaning all of the final finishes, installing all of the plumbing, faucets, shower heads for the plumbing side. For the HVAC side, they're installing all of the fans and vents. And then for the electrical side, they're popping in all of the outlets. They're installing all of the light fixtures, and we're wrapping up the home. And the very last step, once you wrap up absolutely everything, is carpet. Carpet gets dirty, it's harder to clean. Literally finish the house, do an initial clean, and then install the carpet and get the deep clean done. At that same time, you can start passing all of your inspections, your final, and once you have a certificate of occupancy, you're allowed to move into the home, and now you can get that reappraisal done. The bank's gonna come out and verify everything that you said you were gonna do to the home based on the plans is everything that you did, and as long as you built the actual plan. Please don't give them a plan and build something else. That's gonna be a problem. And so once you've got that reappraisal done, it hits the value that you were supposed to be at, they're gonna convert this loan, which is a 12-month construction loan, to a 30-year mortgage automatically. There is not a second closing. It's a one-time closing, 12-month construction loan. Once you reappraise it, boom, you've got yourself a 30-year mortgage and just a general regular mortgage payment. Guys, the most valuable thing about this process and this loan is that because it's your primary residence, you can make up to $250,000 of profit in the US, and it's tax-free as long as you live in it for 2 years. So you live in this house for 2 years, it appreciates, you make $200,000, all of that money stays in your pocket. Now, if you're married and you file with your spouse together on your taxes, you can make up to $500,000. And the tax code is called Topic 701 and Section 122. You can look it up on the IRS code. It's absolutely phenomenal. I love it because you can earn money in this real estate game while enjoying a primary residence. It's a beautiful brand new home, and you're paying for something that you've created wealth for you and your family. If you guys want to learn this game, hit that link below, book a call with my team, like, share, subscribe, and as always, throw in the comments any questions, any other topics, whatever you'd love from us. Thank you so much, and subscribe to the Build Up community and the Build Up channel.